And today we are going to start our next chapter, Quality, in which the writer is telling us about the effect of industrialization on the art of making shoes. As you can see on your screens, a picture in which the man is standing wearing a leather apron, and some of the molds are kept on the racks which are used to make shoes, leather shoes in particular. It was an art before the age of industrialization. We can still see few of the people who make handmade shoes, but this art is lost. These are the molds, and look, you can also read the name of the person for which this mold is made. Look how intense or how hardworking, or it takes a lot of hard work to make a pair of shoes. So the handmade shoes are very costly also as compared to the uh, branded shoes you purchase from the big showrooms. So as compared to those, these handmade shoes are very costly. That's why few of the people can afford, and this art of making shoes is getting uh, lost day by day. So let's start reading the chapter how the writer has described this effect of industrialization, or of advertisement in particular, over this art of shoemaking. So let's start to students. So students, I am starting with this before you read part. Can a shoemaker be called an artist? Yes, if he has the same skill and pride in his trade as any other artist, and the same respect for it too. Mr. Gessler, a German shoemaker settled in London, is a perfect artist. So, the writer is calling the shoemaker as an artist if he has the same skill and the pride in his work as any other artist. If he is proud to be a shoemaker, then he is also an artist. And he is talking about Mr. Gessler, a German shoemaker who settled in London. He was he was an artist according to the writer. So, in the story, Mr. Gessler, or the art of shoemaking of Mr. Gessler, is described. So let's start reading the text. I knew him from the days of my extreme youth because he made my father's boots. He lived with his elder brother in his shop, which was in a small by-street and fashionable part of London. So Mr. Gessler used to make the narrator's father's boots, and he used to live with his elder brother in a street of London. The shop had a certain quiet distinction. There was no sign upon it other than the name of Gessler Brother, and in the window a few pairs of boots. So there was no signboard except the name written on the signboard, Gessler Brothers, and a few pair of boots were kept for display on the window. He made only what was ordered, and what he made never failed to fit. Such was the art of shoemaking of Mr. Gessler. Whatever he made never failed to fit. To make boots, such boots as he made, seems to me then, and still seems to me, mysterious and wonderful. So it was very mysterious and wonderful to know that how all the boots made by Mr. Gessler can fit so perfectly. I remember well my shy remarks one day while stretching out to him my youthful foot. So the poet is remembering a day when he went to Mr. Gessler for ordering a pair of shoes, and when he made a remark, isn't it awfully hard to do, Mr. Gessler? And his answer given with a sudden smile from out of the redness of his beard. It is an art. So, as you can read the dialogue, it is written in a German accent. All the dialogue of Mr. Gessler you will read is in German accent. So, the writer is saying it is an art to make such a perfect shoes. It was not possible to go to him very often. His boots lasted terribly, having something beyond the temporary, some essence of boots stitched into them. So it was impossible for going to him very often because the boots lasted very long and it was kind of essence of boots stitched into them. Soul was stitched into them. The poet is trying, or the writer is trying to say. One went in, not as into most shop, but restfully, as one enters a church. So the writer is comparing the Mr. Gessler's shop to a church, like a person enters a church. The person also enters in Mr. Gessler's shop as a church, sitting on a single wooden chair and waited. A guttural sound and tiptoe of his slippers beating the narrow wooden stairs, and he would stand before one without coat, a little bent, a leather apron, and sleeves turned back, blinking, as if awakened from some dream of boots. So this is the description of Mr. Gessler coming out and a little bent, wearing leather apron as you must have seen in few of the pictures I shared before. The shoemaker wear leather apron while working. So it appears when the writer is saw the saw Mr. Gessler that he may be awakened after having a dream of boots, a good pair of boots again. And I would say, how do you do, Mr. Gessler? Could you make a pair of Russian leather boots? So the poet is here again to order a pair of Russian leather boots. So that's all for today, students. And your homework is to write the given questions and also write the keywords used in this paragraph. So that's all for today. Bye, students. Stay safe.